Greetings everyone, it's your boy the Antman here, back at you with another review. Well, after the awesomeness of Shrek 2, DreamWorks knew what the next step had to be. Going wild with zoo animals in the land of Madagascar. This movie is a timeless gem and was also a smash hit when it came out. The animal talking thing has been done over and over again in various media. But in terms of animated movies, Madagascar gave it a fresh and new identity that stands out. You'll see what I mean after I go over the story. In the Central Park Zoo, a zebra named Marty, played by Chris Rock, has just turned 10 years old on his special day. He then has the desire to break out the zoo and go to the wild, quote unquote. His friends Alex the lion, played by Ben Stiller, Melman the giraffe, played by David Schwimmer, and Gloria the hippo, played by Jada Pinkett Smith, go after him and get themselves caught by authority. They're shipped in crates on a boat, but then get lost overseas. One by one, they all end up on Madagascar and try to figure out what's what. They soon find out that the island is inhabited by a kingdom of lamers, led by the goofy and iconic King Julien, played by Sacha Baron Cohen. They're being under attack by furry savages called the Fusa, but they seem to fear Alex. Julien and his right-hand man Maurice, played by Cedric the Entertainer, tell the kingdom that as long as they make Alex and the gang comfortable in their new land of paradise, then the Fusa may not return. Oh yeah, and there's also a couple of chimps and a group of army penguins who are sprinkled throughout the story. Now, I grew up watching this movie ever since I was 5 or 6, and as a young 20-year-old man-child, I can safely say that it holds up in how hilarious and in place everything is. The characters are all fun and memorable. Actually, I'll say that Madagascar as a franchise has some of the most iconic group of characters of any animated movie series. The relationship between the main leads is pretty good. Alex and Marty are two of the best homies you'd ever have the pleasure of watching. Both Ben Stiller and Chris Rock knock it out the park with their performances. That can be said for all the voices, honestly. They bring so much to the table with the energy they produce through the characters. Frankly, the best characters in this have to be King Julien and the Penguins. Julien is to these movies what Leslie Chow is to the Hangover series. They're iconic goofs who take the stage of every scene they're in, and you get sucked in. Next thing you know, you're laughing your booty off at their actions and quotes. The Penguins are just as funny, as well as awesome. They follow certain tropes of a few group characters you've seen before, though they stray away from the predictability and go to places you don't expect it to go. It's really no wonder why both the Penguins and Julien went on to do a couple of spin-off shorts, movies, and shows. These ideas were fresh and new at the time, and they did what they did to make some of the most funniest pieces of animation in any movie. From the slapstick to the clever quotes to the crazy stuff that happens, this movie is a real ride. Without getting into too much spoiler, things get crazier when Alex is out in the wild too much, to the point where his blood sugar is so low that he imagines his friends as the meat he loves. This added an element of surprise to me when I was younger. It's a little triumphant and tragic, but it still is pure hilarity like the rest of the movie. The animation, as expected, is awesome and gives the characters and locations a lot of personality. The zoo and the streets of New York look alive and are filled, like in real life. The actual Madagascar island is nicely colored, both in vibrant and saturation. It also helps build up the slapstick and the pratfalls that happen. Kind of like the high-speed energy in Hotel Transylvania and how it furthers the comedy with big laughs. Now with that said, I think Madagascar is one of the most iconic animated movies I've ever seen, and it's smart, witty, and funny, and a ball to watch. The question now is, if the sequels get better from here. Let's just save those for down the line, shall we? I give the first Madagascar a 10 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching today's episode of Antman Reviews. Next time, we're going to learn the value of the bare necessities, along with a man cub, a panther, and a cool bear who also loves to party. Until then, here's your boy the Ant-Man signing off. Deuces, y'all.
Move it! I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like